Thank you very much, Dusan, for the floor. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today at our VALPRO PET webinar, the third one in the series that we are having, titled How Can We Optimize Value Chains to Enhance Business Opportunities for Alternative Proteins. My name is Mladen Radišić, and I'm CEO of Foodscale Hub, one of the partners of VALPRO PET Horizon Europe project, and I will be happy to moderate the session today and welcome two great speakers that will be presenting today their interesting stories stemming from their amazing projects. So it is my great pleasure to welcome Morena Silvestrini and Tamara Glišić-Krivošija today, two ladies that will be presenting their respective projects and explaining how European plant protein landscape could and should be changed. Morena is EU project manager at the National Center for Food and Technology and Safety, and she's also the project coordinator of the Like a Pro project, which is one of the projects very closely connected to our VALPRO PET. And we are very happy to have Morena today that will be presenting how they are shifting positively food systems within Like a Pro. On the other hand, we also have Tamara today. Tamara is a business consultant at Foodscale Hub, and she has a extensive experience in international research and innovation collaborative projects. She is actively involved in VALPRO PET project, where she's leading business modeling activities in this very interesting European project. What is VALPRO PET all about? Being the official host of today's panel, it's a Innovation Action Horizon Europe project that started in September 2020 to be lasting until mid-26. It is almost 10 million euros projects with 22 partners coming from 9 European countries that are representing producers, processors, end users, scientific organizations, but also other interesting partners. The whole idea is to develop fresh possibilities, validating and showcasing ways to enhance plant protein production. Like a Pro is a project started in November 22, and it will be lasting until October 26. It's almost 12 million euros project with a vast partnership network of more than 40 partners from 17 countries all around Europe. And they are also facilitating sustainable and healthy diets especially within the plant protein area. So what do we expect today is actually to discover how cutting-edge value chains strategies are reshaping, and VALPRO PET and Like a Pro will be presenting their stories. So without any further ado, I'll give the floor to Tamara, who will be first presenting the pathway of VALPRO. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying to share my screen. I hope it's okay. Welcome again to our seminar. My name is Tamara Glišić-Krivošija, and I'm a business consultant with Foodscale Hub. While in VALPRO PET project, I act as an exploitation manager. And today, regarding the topic of our webinar and our session, I will try to explain what we are doing within the VALPRO PET project regarding the optimization of value chains and how this is contributing to enhancing the business opportunities. I would also like to draw your attention to the fact that the VALPRO PET project deals with plant-based protein, while other alternative proteins are being explored within the Like a Pro project. Morena will tell you more about this in her session. In my session, I will try to explain and deep dive a little bit into the value chain division we have within VALPRO PET and how is it structured around our work packages and the work we are doing in connection to the business modeling. And explain the methodology we've been using for the business modeling, because it reflects on the value chain and how we are trying to implement the innovations developed and explored within the project into concrete business cases that are being developed along the project. Also, some of the tools we'll be using, and we think that they might be useful for you in your business endeavors, will also be explained. And this will be the value innovation mapping tool, as well as the business model radar that is used in collaborative business modeling approach. And also, what are some of the value chain optimization strategies, which is basically the focus of today's session, will also be explained, and we will reflect briefly on some of the business models that are being used that are present in today's market regarding plant-based food products. When it comes to the value chain division within the VALPRO Path project, although the value chain is much more complex and it incorporates marketing and distribution, also the production process is very, very complex. We have divided it into three parts. The first one is on-farm processing, the second is the supply chain, and at the end we are dealing with end-to-end facing users, actors that are dealing directly with the consumers. When it comes to the on-farm processing in the VALPRO Path project, we have actors from along the whole value chain involved. So the partners that are included in the on-farm processing part of the value chain involve producers as well as processors. And on the slide, you can see the partners that are taking and having these roles within our pilots when we are testing the solutions developed within the project. The whole process and the business cases that we are addressing in this part of the value chain, so the first part of the value chain, are co-created with breeding producers that are and at the farm gate. So basically, we are exploring new technologies that are related to processing, and then also the production part is affected as well, where we are focusing on enabling services, supporting services that help farmers and producers choose the right variety, as well as test new innovative agronomic practices that can help them increase their yield, reduce costs, and create more added value, which results in profitability and a higher yield margin. When it comes to the supply chain, we have actors from the FIMIS, the Farm Management Integration System, and as well as the partners that are dealing with the logistical issues. And here we are basically on the carbon emission evaluation, on the nutrient tracking for our products and our solutions. So one of the solutions that we are testing is a nutrient tool, which is also involved in the whole of the value chain. And we are doing, for example, this for the plant protein beverage and the plant protein bar that we are taking as an example for validating this tool. And at the end, we have partners that are facing end consumers, where we are collaborating with them in order to refine product recipes and to create some breaking points that are providing an entry to the market in order to present these products as an alternative and as healthy options for consumers around Europe. The methodology we've been using in our project focuses, of course, on all of these modeling questions that are presented at the right part of the slide. We are trying to answer the question, so who is the customer? Who are we creating this product, solution, or process for? Who will be the target group that we are trying to sell the solution to? And how is the value proposition created? So what is the value that the end consumer gets from the process, the methodology, the technology, or within the business cases within the VALPRO Path project? And of course, forget is the revenue. How is revenue generated? What is innovative about our business modeling approach here in VALPRO Path is that we are using a collaborative business model that is based on the collaborative approach, where we try to involve all the actors in the value chain to create collaborative business models where each actor in the value chain is creating a certain added value for the end product, methodology, process, or we call them VALPRO Path solutions in general. This approach helps to define what are the relationships between the actors in the collaborative business model. It helps us focus on profitability, competitiveness, and sustainability is a great aspect that we put attention to in the project. And of course, how can we keep these models functioning for a longer period of time and not just for the end duration of the project itself. In the VALPRO business projects, we are developing 10 business cases. I will introduce you to a few of them during the presentation, where we are exploring innovations in the value chain. So each business case is targeting a different part of the value chain, and it brings a certain innovation that adds added value for customer, basically, of the business case, and most of them are focused at the end users, at the consumers of the food products. Also, since it's a collaborative business model, we have a lot of institutions collaborating. So we have producers, processors, logistic actors, we have end-facing companies, end users, also universities that act as extension service providers, incorporating a quadruple helix model of innovation and bringing this into the focus of the VALPRO project. The process that we go through when we do this collaborative business modeling approach involves first and foremost the definition of the business case. This was something that we were struggling with at the beginning, to define what will be a viable, marketable opportunity that stems out from a certain business case and the innovation that we are trying to test and validate. When we define this, we proceed with the market analysis. So is there room in the market for this type of product, this type of technology? Then we continue with the session where we introduce all the actors to the collaborative business modeling approach and what will be their roles in developing a business model, and how will they be collaborating during the development of the business case, and then how will they continue collaborating afterwards when the project ends and we complete a certain business case related to a value chain innovation. We started doing sessions. We did one in vivo in Brussels when it comes to the Explore workshop. And this was mainly focused on the value chain innovation mapping. So we were discussing where in the value chain the innovation is present and how can this be marketed, translated to a business opportunity that is viable for the market. The fourth session was done online, separately with each pilot, involving all the actors that are present and doing some work within a pilot, and they were related to the design of the business model radar, which basically contains a lot of information that helps define the roles of each partner involved in the business case. And the final session is the evaluation. So when we gather all the input from all the partners and what is expected of a certain business case, we do the evaluation and maybe do some refining, some changes. And this is the basis for the business model itself. That is the main goal of our task, Foodscale Hub's task within the VALPRO project. The modeling toolbox, we'll be calling it like this throughout the project. We have the two I would like to focus your attention to. We have a lot of other tools developed for the purpose of the business modeling, but these are somehow more related to the collaborative aspect and the collaborative approach we've been exploring. And this is the value chain innovation mapping and the business model radar. So the value innovation chain mapping is basically a strategic tool that helps you identify where the innovation is placed within the value chain, and it helps us understand where we can make certain improvements, where value can be added, where can efficiency be improved, and this, if done right, can provide a competitive advantage for the solution at the end. When it comes to the business model radar, it is, as maybe you can see it on the right part, it's basically a circle divided into pies. And each pie is dedicated to a certain business case participant, a business case actor. And here in the circle, we have involved all the partners that cover the value chain for a certain, for example, let's say plant-based food product. So we also incorporate the end users, thus the customers, where you can have one or two or even more categories of customers which your product or technology can be sold to at the end. This approach, and it's very visually appealing, it provides clear distinction between the roles and between the responsibilities of each business case participant. It helps us evaluate where the strength is, who is doing what within a business model, and it also segments the value proposition for the one product we are jointly developing. It outlines the costs, the benefits, and as well as the co-production activities, because each partner is doing a proportionate amount of work in order to create a joint product at the end. These tools help us facilitate the strategic decision-making in a collaborative setting where we have a lot of actors involved, but at the end, we still have one institution, one organization, business case participant that is interacting with the customer. The other interactions are within the collaboration itself. Here are some of the photos how Foodscale Hub is doing the collaborative business modeling approach. So this is our workshop we've done in vivo in Brussels. And on the next slide, you see the online setting when we are doing the design workshops. Now I will shift to the value chain optimization strategies that we've been trying to explore within the VALPRO Path project. And on the later slides, I will address each of them separately to involve you in the discussion on what we've been doing within the project and maybe get your thoughts and questions on this. The first strategy that we are dealing with in our pilot one, we call them, those are basically living labs, we call them Innovation Production Systems, IPSs. In our IPS one, we deal with shortening the supply chain. So basically the backbone of this strategy revolves around the producer, the farmer, the manufacturer, where we integrate cultivation and production at the same time. This means that the farmer is not only the grower, but at the same time the processor when it comes to raw materials and the inputs for the plant-based food products that come out at the end of the process. Another strategy we've been exploring within the project is related to the product and protein diversification. This means that we are trying to involve the companies within our project to try new protein sources. We are trying to give advice on the technologies that they can use to process these raw materials, these pulses. And also, we are trying to develop new products from different protein sources because, for example, at the moment, the product is very saturated with products made from soy, for example, but the other pulses, the other protein crops are not that present at the market. We will also explore, and I will tell something more about the benefits of the product and protein diversification when it comes to the value chain itself and also the local economy. When we talk about the eco-friendly food labeling, which is also something we are exploring very vividly in the project, revolves around the key driver for the plant protein sector, and this is that consumers want transparency. And they want information to make informed decisions about the products they consume. This means that they want information about the nutritional value of the food, but also we have awareness, a lot of environmental awareness that is also present when it comes to animal welfare, that people need information about the environmental impact the whole production process of a certain product is making. So basically what we try to do is to incorporate this sustainability aspect along with the nutrient tracking tool within the whole value chain. So we follow this for the products in the whole value chain. And the last optimization strategy I will be talking about is the provisioning of enabling services. And in our project, these are mainly focused on the beginning of the value chain. So on the farm, what happens on the farm level, and it is related to choosing suitable varieties and choosing agronomic practices that are suited for different pedoclimatic regions. Within our IPSs, we have different locations and different testing fields where we are trying out different breeds and practices in order to be able to provide the recommendations for the producers at the end. So these pedoclimatic regions, they range from, we have them in Ireland to peanuts, growing peanuts in Portugal. Now let me focus more on the first optimization strategy, and that is shortening the value chain. We are doing this business case in Italy, where we are producing a plant-based burger made from chickpea. Basically, the pulse used is chickpea. This is not in itself so innovative, but the process of making the burger on farm is something that brings added value to the farmer themselves. Our business case is focused on agricultural cooperative. So this is an approach that can be used not only for farmers, but it can be used as well for the association of farmers, or some other type of cooperative will work as well. The innovation in this business case is related also to using technological solutions for precision farming, for data collection, and we are trying to validate different processing technologies to come up with the answer, what is the best to be used in this specific case in Italy. Also, what we are trying to improve are the logistical aspects and the shelf life improvements related to the durability of the product, which is reflected in the recipe, so in the design of the product itself. And of course, as we previously mentioned, the sustainability aspect, which is also very important for today's consumers. The issue of eco packaging and its design and its appeal to the consumer is also something that can shift consumers from other brands to your brand. So basically, this approach encourages farmers to take an active role. You are not just growers, but at the same time processors. And with this approach, we are avoiding processing companies. We are omitting them from the value chain, which means the value chain is shortened. And it has benefits for the farmer itself and also for the local economy as well. When it comes to the farmer has greater control over the quality of the product. So they can follow it from the cultivation to the processing. How the whole process is managed is up to the farmer. Also, transportation costs are reduced, as well as the carbon emission, because the distribution of the raw material is omitted from the value chain. This results with an increased profitability, so increased yield margin for the farmer, and it helps in diversification of income, which is very important these days, because we have been evidence to that some global disruptions in the value chains can reflect also food production globally. Also, what is beneficial for the farmer is that they get involved also in other activities. So not just growing, but they need to become marketing experts. They need to build a brand, and it is more easily to do this locally. And this is also a growing trend in Europe and around the world, to present your products at the farmers market. So sell it locally. And this is something that we are trying to develop within this business case. I've already mentioned the overall benefits for the local economy. I just also want to reflect that this approach, so bringing it to the local level, also helps strengthen food security, which has been an issue in the last few years. However, this approach brings substantial challenges for the farmers, because maybe they are very skilled in cultivation, but some of the other processes are not so familiar to them. And also, if you want to build a processing facility at the farm level, it's a very, very capital intensive endeavor. But still, you need to invest also in your skills, your marketing skills. You need to build a brand in order to be able to sell the plant-based products at the end. And it's a substantial shift from the business of only simply growing food. When it comes to product and protein diversification, this is something that is important as well as for the small producers, as well as for the big companies that are present globally when it comes to plant-based foodstuffs. We are trying to explore the product and protein diversification with artisan legume pasta. This has also been done in Italy, and the value chain position. So it's at the end, it's a consumer-facing VALPRO solution, so to say. I would like to discuss why this is important to diversify. Diversification of the product portfolio, it helps you expand your business in the range of plant protein-based food products, but it also helps you reduce dependency on a single protein source when it comes to protein diversification. So this is a useful strategy to also include innovation and have more products that are appealing to the end user. Innovation is important when it comes to flavor, texture, and nutritional composition of the end foodstuffs that the consumer will be trying. However, there are a lot of options present at the market nowadays. So the products can cater to vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian diets. You can also explore niche categories like gluten-free, soy-free, or allergen-free products in order to be comfortable with the label you put on your product, which says it's soy-free or it's gluten-free. Technologies need to be tested and verified in order to be so that we can be able to produce these kind of products. Also, what I wanted to highlight is that diversifying the protein source is very important because it reduces the dependency on a single ingredient. And I think this is very, very important when it comes to keeping up in the business and running a business. It's not so good to have your whole production process linked to only one protein source. The third strategy I would like to discuss is the development of eco-friendly food labeling. And this is something that is present in all European projects, and it is a market trend that's been present and the key driver for the plant-based sector, since this is something that the consumers want. They want to know what the product is made of, how it is made of, and what is the environmental footprint of the whole production process. So in our VALPRO project, we are trying to make a beverage, a plant-based beverage, and also to make a bar that is near carbon neutral. That means that we are following the carbon credits, we are following the nutrient along the production process, and we are also shifting this sustainability principle also on the packaging itself in order to support the whole mission and idea of the project. What consumers want is basically the information to be easy to understand. It is something that also the regulators want, and it is present in regulations all around EU. Elements that can be used for eco-labeling are, for example, carbon footprint, water usage, sustainability, ingredients, and also some ethical information that animals were not harmed in the process of, or animal products were not used in the process of making a certain product. And this can be done through an LCA analysis. So LCA information can support the claims that you are making on your labels. And also we have the technological advancements that can communicate well these information. And those are the QR codes, the blockchain. And also you can always, in order to be satisfied with the claims that you are making, hire a third-party organization for the certification process. When it comes to the enabling services, I have already mentioned this, so I will not keep you much on this slide. The work VALPRO Path is doing is related to the varietal selection. So basically in trials, we are testing what are the varieties that can help achieve the maximum yield and resilience when it comes to certain pedoclimatic regions. And this is where we have universities involved with agricultural extension services, knowledge transfer, training, and capacity that the information reaches the producers and the farmers. Briefly, I will reflect on the business models that are currently present within the plant-based food products. And those are the direct-to-consumer business model, which has now shifted totally online. So most of the producers, they have their online platforms, or they are joining the already developed online platforms within their region or globally in order to reach more consumers. Another option is a B2B business model, and that is to create partnerships with retail companies or with restaurants, cafes, institutional kitchens, hotels, which are more and more incorporating the vegan and vegetarian options into their menus. So these are the two main business models present. And we also have something, if you are not so if the marketing approach does not seem so appealing to you, there is always the possibility to manufacture something for a private white label. This means that the producer is producing the product itself, but it's being marketed and branded under a different company's name. When it comes to the online possibility of selling plant-based food products, there are always different aspects how to engage with your consumers and with your stakeholders. And some of the interesting ones are the subscription boxes, the recipe boxes, and the subscription sensation. And this means that if you opt for a subscription box, you get monthly deliveries of a certain food product delivered to your door. You can also opt for a one-time recipe box, which you get ingredients and instructions how to make a plant-based dinner on a special occasion. And also there is the sensation, subscription sensation, which means that if you are trying to cultivate your relationship with your consumers, your end consumers, you will send them a box with your newly developed products in order to for them to be the first to try and tell you about their opinion of the new products you've been developing. And of course, there is also an option to brand the ingredient itself. So the burger is made from the pea protein or something that is made at a specific farm. So this is also an interesting business model to explore. With this, I would like to conclude. I'm open for any questions. Feel free to drop them in the chat, and Mladen will, moderate further on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamara. Yes, of course, everybody is more than welcome to state their questions in the chat zone, but we will be also having time after Morena's presentation. So Morena, without any further ado, the floor is yours. Feel free to share your presentation and to inform participants on Leica Pro advancements. Thank you.
Just let me know if you see my screen in presentation mode. Yes, okay. So thank you so much. So first, I would like to thank you for letting me introduce our project in this webinar, the Leica Pro project. So it is clear that there is a growing interest from consumers in alternative proteins products. However, the alternative protein mainstreaming is still facing challenges mainly related to the low availability, low accessibility of acceptable products. So in this context, Leica Pro is working to mainstream alternative proteins, offering a wide range of alternative of products to attract consumers. So a wide range of products that meet consumers' needs. For that, it's not only important to increase the availability of those products in the European market, but to also really understand what are the main determinants and main variables affecting consumer behavior and consumer choices. So that's really an important point to be taken into account while developing new food products. And apart from this, it's really important to engage, to involve food system actors in the process, with main objective to empower them to make the alternative protein products an easy and economically viable choice. And of course, it's also important while developing new products based on alternative proteins, it's always important to develop those products in line with regulatory and ethical requirements. So we really need to ensure that all those developments bring positive changes in terms of health and sustainability of the European food system. Indeed, these are the four main objectives of LICA-Pro. We started our journey in 2022, in November 2022. So at that time, we started assessing what are the key determinants of consumer choices of alternative proteins. We did that through a systematic review of systematic reviews. And through those activities, we identify psychosocial and socio-democratic variables that determine consumer choices of alternative proteins. So here you see just a graphical example of the main individual determinants of alternative protein food choices for both plant-based and insect-based proteins. The results from these activities have been included in a specific public deliverable, and that deliverable has been uploaded to our website, so you can find it there if you're interested in these activities. In another pre-registered systematic review, we also mapped different food environments and their structures in order to identify what are the main entry points and barriers that promote or hinder the alternative protein intake in those structures. And these results have already been published in a scientific articles, and you find reference here, and the article you can download the article from our website if you are interested in. We also found differences in the acceptance of alternative protein food across different European countries and regions. So here you just find a graphical example of the regions assessed during the project. And for example, we found that Eastern European consumers seems to have a limited knowledge and a lower attitude to try and to eat alternative protein food compared to, for example, to consumers from Western or Northern Europe. And these results have also been published in a scientific journal. In our project, we are also engaging, involving a consumer in the project activities. In this way, we have the consumers in a key role in the design and innovation process of the project. So through this direct engagement of consumers in our activities, we really want to explore the different food environments from the perspective of European citizens and their consumption realities. So we really need to understand what are their behaviors in the different food environments. And from that, with the results obtained during these activities, we will be able to co-design with them and co-create different pathways and effective food environments that are going to facilitate the dietary shift in those environments, of course. These are the main activities foreseen the project for the engagement of consumers. So from one side, we have the Citizen Innovation Living Labs. These activities have started this year. And as you can see here, we are involving 11 European countries, and we are going to engage during these activities approximately 3,000 citizens. These living labs act as a forum of exchange, discussion with consumers on a range of different topics related to their food choices and the consumption realities in different food environments. So, and these results, the results that we will obtain from this activity will be upscaled, involving large number of consumers through behavioral intervention pilots that will be conducted in 4 real food environmental settings like supermarkets, restaurants, school and university canteens, and at home. But apart from this, it is clear that we need to diversify, we need to diversify the alternative protein supply. And for that, in the project, we are going to formulate at least 60 new food products by using ingredients from different protein sources. So we started with the optimization of the production process of the ingredients from those protein sources. We already determined the protein functionality for those ingredients in order to be sure that those ingredients can be used in food application. And this year we have started the food products formulation. So here you can see the 7 protein sources we are working with, and the main criteria we have considered for the selection of those protein sources. So we are working with rapeseed, mealworm, krill, microbial protein, mushrooms, fermenting fungal proteins, and pea protein. So these are the main protein sources considered in the project. Even if in the next months we are going to assess the possibility to work with additional protein sources. So from those sources, we have already optimized the production process of different ingredients. And with those ingredients, we already started developing different food products at pilot scale. Here you can see some nice picture of the first prototypes developed in the project. We have fresh pasta, hamburger, for example, hybrid chorizo, and cooked ham, for example. But yes, we have the engagement of consumers. We already know what are the main determinants affecting their choices. We are also developing new food products from novel and optimized protein sources. But as mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, we also need to engage food system actors in the whole process. So we really need to know, to receive their feedback, and we need to understand what are the main challenges that somehow affect the mainstreaming of the alternative protein, and that affect the integration of those products in the food environments, for example, and in the food production. For that, we already engaged 50 entities representing the middle food system value chains, and those entities are going to be involved in different activities, like the co-creation session that have just been kicked off in September. And those actors will interact and will provide the feedback, and together we'll try to design a different solution to address the challenges related to the alternative proteins. And apart from this, we are also going to organize a capability building session with those entities in order to increase their skills, their knowledge, and their awareness on how to integrate, as I just mentioned, the alternative proteins in food production and in food environments. And what about impact? So it is clear that, as I've mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, we need to ensure that those alternative products bring a really positive change in terms of health and sustainability of the European food system. And for that, in the project, we are going to assess the different impact of those products. We will start with by assessing the impact of the social environmental impact of the ingredients and the proteins considered in the project. We are also going to assess the economic implication of the products for the middle food system actors. And of course, we will assess the impact on diet adequacy and nutrient coverage. And in parallel, we will ensure that all the developments of the project are always in line with regulatory safety and ethics requirement. And here you can just see a really short list of activities we are going to carry out in the project related to the economic, social, environmental, and nutritional impact of the project developments. So we are going to assess, to analyze the marketability and the economic agro-food chain sustainability of the products. We will also identify barriers, drivers, and managerial impact of those products in different operational environments. We will assess the social environmental impact of the alternative proteins considering LicaPro. And last but not least, we are going to produce nutritional fact sheets to have a clear overview of the nutritional value of the products developed in the project. And of course, we will keep conducting a review on legislation, regulatory framework related to alternative protein. We will also keep following up Commission implementing regulations of recent novel ingredients and foods put in the market. And of course, we will also assess the safety of the alternative protein sources considered in the project through in vitro assays. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Morena. Hello, everybody. My name is Dusan Chinez from the VALPRO project. As Mladen is right now having some technical difficulties, I'll be taking over the Q&A part. So for the first question that we have for Tamara. How can companies ensure a seamless transition from traditional supply chains to those optimized for alternative proteins?
Well, I will try to keep it brief because I see that we are running out of time. I think that it is the most easier way is to develop a hybrid supply chain. That means use the infrastructure and the already established value chains for the non-alternative protein products. This can help leverage current infrastructure, and it can help you market the products by using the already established brands. I would just like you to draw your attention to the vegan Nutella that appeared a month ago, I think, and it was a great boom. So we all know Nutella, and now it's available also in a vegan option. So for big companies, I think this is the way to go, to use the existing infrastructure.
Okay, thank you for that. And Morena, what are the main current challenges in the mainstreaming of alternative proteins?
Thank you. I must say that I'm learning a lot thanks to our LicaPro project. So I'm learning that we have a lot of challenges to be overcome through our project, and one of those key challenges are mainly related to the technological and functional property characteristics of the food products we already found in the supermarket, for example. So we know that consumers want to eat, want to buy products that somehow mimic the sensorial and the structural properties of conventional animal-based products. So that's one of the main challenges we need to overcome, because many of the products we already find on the market are not so attractive to consumers because of mainly their smell or their texture or the taste. So that's one of the main challenge we need to overcome. So the technological and the organoleptic properties of the products we are going to develop in the project. And apart from this, there is also an important nutritional and safety concern about novel food, novel products, mainly because many of the products already available in the markets contain lower quality proteins with an incomplete amino acid profile. So they don't have a really high nutritional profile. And many of those products contain really a high amount of additives. So many of those products can be considered like as for example, as ultra processed foods. So they are not health, they are not safety. And for that, it's really important, it's really key to try to develop and produce products with good organoleptic properties, high nutritional profile, a good amino acid profile as well, and a good digestibility. And another challenge could be related to regulation. So we all know that when we talk about novel ingredients and novel foods, we know that to get the approval from EFSA, so that process is quite long, and sometimes there is a lack of clear regulatory guidelines that can help a product developer to really carry out the correct, the proper safety assessment in order to get the EFSA approval. And another challenge could be, for example, the willingness of the middle food system actors to make the change. So the willingness of those actors to really integrate the alternative products in the different food environments and in the food production process. So in my opinion, these are the main challenges we need to overcome with our project.
Thank you, Morena. And are there any questions from the audience directed to Tamara or Morena? Oh, we have one. So we have a question here. More and more companies seem to move from focusing on B2C to aiming for B2B, especially when they have developed a real breakthrough technology. Hura is a recent example of this. Can you maybe comment on this development? Maybe it saves them. Maybe it saves them capex investments or creating brand awareness in new geographies. So could maybe Tamara start? If you have Morena?
Yeah, I can start. I think it's an excellent example. Yes, by switching to B2B is maybe an easier way, because it also complements the question I had, the previous question. So you're already using the existing infrastructure. So if we are incorporating the plant-based foods or the alternative protein products into an already existing menu of a hotel, restaurant, or other companies that are involved in the B2B business model, we are just helping it get to the end consumers. If we are going for the B2C model with the consumer itself, it's more time consuming in order to reach a profitability margin that's satisfactory. So I think that this is a good option. It's a good starting point to go for partnerships in retail, and as well as HoReCa for hotels, restaurants, and cafes. Yeah.
Yeah, I also agree with this strategy, but again, for me, one of the key points here is really to listen to consumers, listen what they would like to find on the supermarkets, they would like to eat, and what are their needs. So we really need to engage all the parties, all the actors involved in the whole value chain of alternative proteins, and really be sure we are in line with what is needed here, and what are the main needs in this sense, not only for companies but also for consumers. That's key.
Yes, thank you, Morena and Tamara. If there are any more questions, I think Mladen is back and he can resume the ending of the webinar.
I think I'm back. Thank you very much, Dusan, for stepping in. Well, many thanks to both Tamara and Morena about their very interesting presentations. We are close to 1 hour, so we will keep it within this 1 hour time frame as initially planned. We use this opportunity to extend our gratitude to Morena and Like a Pro project for being with us and sharing the floor in this interesting series of VALPRO PET webinars. And we also use this opportunity to invite all the participants to our upcoming webinar that is scheduled for mid-December, more precisely 12th of December, where more information will follow on our channels, on our website. And of course, you will be having another opportunity to listen to very interesting stories, not only from our project, but also from all of our sister projects that are sharing the same vision of plant protein future of Europe. Many thanks to everyone. We wish you a pleasant day ahead. Stay following our channels and wish you all the best in your future work. Thank you very much.